Hello and welcome back to another episode of We Are Meant for More. Today I have an extra special guest joining us. Her name is Ella Rivkin. Welcome, Ella.
Yes, thank you. Yes, hello everyone. Thank you for having me, Karen. I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. I'm so excited for this. I know the audience is going to get so much from this. It's a powerful topic that I know many will benefit from. So, if it's all right with you, I'm just going to introduce you to the audience with your bio, and so they can have a little idea of what's in store for them.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Let's see. This is exciting. So, Ella is a tax and financial expert, business advisor, real estate investor, and founder of ERPS Group. So, you'll tell us a little more about that after, too. You're dedicated to empowering business owners and medical professionals to achieve long-term financial freedom. And you've got 26 years of experience and have helped countless clients uncover hidden cash flow opportunities. We're definitely diving into that because that's very exciting. You help to optimize tax strategies and build seven-figure businesses. In addition to your financial expertise, you're also a seasoned real estate investor, leveraging properties as a powerful wealth building tool. And your mission is to help business owners accomplish their personal, professional, and financial goals. And your motto is it's all in your hands.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
that.
it's all in your hands and we're ready to receive it.
So then start right there. It's all in our hands. How is it all in our hands? And just tell us about you and wherever you'd like to begin.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. Well, just to add a little bit about my journey and how I came out to that motto of "It's all in your hands." So I'm an immigrant from Russia. Well, back then it was former Soviet Union. So I left Russia when I was 14 years old with my mom. She was a single mom with just me and my brother, with $100 in my pocket. So it was a quite interesting and challenging journey. And but I came to this country, to the land of opportunities, to US, and I built my dream life. So and my mom was a model for me. She inspired me. Uh, Taking that leap of faith and leaving everything behind with just $100 coming to this country for a better life, to give better life to me and my brother. And me, obviously, being inspired by her and taking advantage of everything that this country, this beautiful place has to offer. So, and I was very fortunate that I created this financial freedom for myself. And that's why I'm saying, like, everything is in our hands, that it's all possible. We have everything that we need and it's all within us. We just need to take advantage of it, unleash it, and go get all these opportunities.
Wow, that is a powerful story. Thank you for sharing that. So when you began on that journey, where did it start? Where did that, how did you plant that first seed that this is possible? Was it a
Well, this
maybe this is possible, or was it I know this is possible and you planted the seed? How did that play out?
Oh, this is a great question, Karen. I always, it was planned out in me. It's that everything is possible because I'm a dreamer, I'm a believer, and that's how I'm wired. And I remember even like dreaming as a little girl, like having all these dreams. I mean, obviously, I didn't know that it would happen here in America, but these dreams that would always help me to visualize, to dream, and then that's would help me to go forward. This is what that would lead me. So, but the way I'm obviously coming to this country, I needed to make something of myself, to build myself. So here's an interesting fact about me. So I love numbers, I love money, I love numbers. I'm all about numbers. And my mom tells me when I was a little girl, I would always like play. I would pretend that I am like a business owner, or like I have a store. I would make out of the paper, I would make money, and I would make my brother play with me. And then also I would always like write in a notebook. I would write all this, sit down and write all the numbers. So that's what my mom tells me. So I would even exchange like fruits with or some kind of a food with my brother for the better food. So, I guess like this from the childhood, I had like the love for numbers, for money, and the entrepreneurship. And here's another fun fact. When I came to this country, so I finished only 7 grades in Russia. And then before coming here, I spent 6 months in Italy, 1 month in Austria. So when I came here, actually, I went straight to the 10th grade. So basically, I skipped from the 7th grade straight to the 10th grade. And here's another last interesting fact about me, how like that, what sparked the what I'm doing right now in terms of the finances. So when I went to this school to the 10th grade, I don't know why, for some reason they were learning bookkeeping. So I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it's like a typical subject that you would learn in the high school. But for some reason in my school, they had bookkeeping since I went to the 10th grade and they started learning this in the 9th grade. So I had to learn the whole 9th grade curriculum because without in accounting and bookkeeping, if you don't know like the beginning, you cannot just jump in and know the subject. So back then, if those of you who are old enough to remember, we had no iPhones, we had no internet, there was no Siri, there was no Google, there was only
Mm-hmm.
libraries. So what I had to do is I had to go to the library, get the book, and learn the whole 1 year curriculum. So this way I can go to the 10th grade to continue learning that. So surely that's exactly what I did. I went, I learned the 9th grade curriculum, but then I fell in love with it so much. So I just learned the whole 4 year curriculum.
Oh my goodness, you're amazing.
And that's, I guess, how it sparked. And I was given already that I need to pursue my career with numbers and finance and accounting. And that's surely what sparked this whole career in me.
It sounds like you were pretty driven at an early age.
Well, yes. I had, I was born not in a wealthy family. My mom, as I mentioned, was a single mom. She needed to make a living for herself to survive. And then when we moved from Russia, it's just when the time came when she started building up herself financially, then she took that decision to move us to here to US. I mean, honestly, we didn't even know we were gonna get here because we were supposed to go to Israel, but luckily we got here. And then she had to start everything all over again. So I guess like this whole drive in me was from the childhood because I wanted to live a better life. I wanted uh, to have better things. And then another thing is that obviously, as a woman, as a mom, that was another thing in me already. I always had that is that I want to give my children everything one day when I'll have them, and luckily I do have two beautiful girls, was always in me
Mhm.
that I want to give them everything that I didn't get a chance to have and that my mom was not able to give us. So I think like all of that was built up inside of me.
Absolutely. This is really, it's so interesting and really helpful to hear how it started too. Um, you mentioned that you're a dreamer and you like to dream big. How do people go from dreaming to actually turning that dream into reality? Because sometimes people can get caught up in just dreaming and not taking action, and it remains just a dream. How did you take it from dreaming, which is so important, dreaming and visualizing it happening and so important, but how do you take that to the next level?
Yeah, thank you. I love that question. Great question. And you just you said it perfectly. It's the action. And that's what it's the combination. Being a dreamer, and I'm a very, besides being a dreamer, a believer, I'm a very action person.
Mhm.
So it's, I have the dream, I envision that dream, and then I just go and take actions. A lot of the times, and listen, I'm guilty of that as well, and I see this happens a lot because I'm a perfectionist. Many of you that are watching, if you find this in yourself, that we are perfectionists, this is what paralyzes us. But what I learned throughout the years, and I reflect a lot, I have like I consider myself having a very good self-awareness. So it's, when I reflect on the things that which I wanna do and dream about it, but then I don't take actions because being perfectionist, it paralyzes me. That's when I do not get any results. So lately, and that's what I started building up and implementing more and more, is just, okay, I have the dream, just go do it. And then as I do that, I start reflecting on that and then just improving, and then building and mastering that. So it's all about just taking actions.
Mhm.
And that's what I do. I just go, okay, let me do that. And then I'll just figure out as I'm going to do it.
I love it. So sometimes the action, it can be a little messy. It's not perfect, but it's better to be done than never be done because you're waiting for it to be perfect.
Exactly, exactly. Because I'll tell you even that, like when I started my career, I started. It was an interesting fact too. So I started as a volunteer in my friend's office, and then I built myself up to be a partner. So, but then at some point, I was with them for 12 years, and during that time, we had like our disagreements. And inside of me, I already knew that it's time for me to move on, but
Mhm.
it's not taking the steps, it's not taking the actions, and like waiting for that perfect moment that got caught me up for staying there for so long. Obviously, eventually, once I took that step, I mean, there's so many opportunities opened up. So, and that's saying about that. It's dream big, believe in yourself, but just take these actions. Because if we don't take actions, then we're not gonna know if it's gonna work out or it's not. And today, my motto, the way I live, besides just saying that it's all in our hands, because it is. Listen, we can have absolutely everything that we have. But I always tell myself this: I would rather be disappointed that I took the actions, but it was not what I wanted, versus being regretful.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, so I love this. I hope people are hearing that. So dream big. Don't be afraid to dream big
Yeah.
and take the steps towards it. And it
Yeah.
sounds like the next steps have been delivered to you as you go.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's exactly, as you start working on whatever dream that you have, as you start building that. And that's in the interesting fact as well, because like the way we programmed is, wherever the focus goes, energy goes. So once you start taking these actions, this is where the focus is going to go, this is where all the energy is going to flow. And then it's like the way we wired in our brain, like everything is gonna come into us because we're focusing, it expands, and then as we're taking these actions, it's gonna unfold for us like all the steps, everything that we need to do. And that's another thing, because like when we're thinking and trying to perfection this, until we start actually working on that, building on that, we wouldn't know, okay, what's the next step that we need to take.
Mhm. Yep. Fascinating. This is so good. Which leads me to my next thought. I could talk to you for hours. So you mentioned your daughters. You said two
Yeah.
daughters?
Two daughters. I have two daughters, 126, 120.
Oh, so good. So good. Um, you mentioned wanting to be able to provide things for them, and it made me think about the importance of having a big why. How important is it for people to have a why behind what they're doing? Like,
Oh,
does there to be?
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
No, I
ahead.
was just thinking, is that part of what prevents you from giving up or abandoning a project because you keep coming back to, gosh, I want my daughters to have everything, or I want to set this example for my daughters. How important is having a big why for you?
It is. And just as you mentioned, it's so important because it's setting the example for you, for your daughters, for your sons, like whatever, for those women that are listening. If you have kids, it's basically setting up for examples for your kids. And for those who don't have kids, it's not even, it's setting up the examples for others, the other people around us. Because we as leaders, and especially women, we have so much to give. And there's, listen, you know, the world depends on us in all the reality. You know,
Mhm.
as they say that the man is the head and the woman is the neck, but where the neck turns, this is where the head will turn, right? So it all depends on us.
Yeah, good stuff.
So, and then, you know, and so we are the ones that setting up the example. So, and to set up the example, and this was another, my motto, the way that I live is that I walk my talk. So I do the things. I do the things, and then the others can see what I do and then learn from it. So having the big why, it's very important for, obviously, as you mentioned, is setting example for others, but then at the same time is even for myself to help me keep going. Because unfortunately, we're all facing lots of challenges. These
Mhm.
challenges, some call them problems, I call them challenges, because I believe that these are the problems, that the challenges, that means that we need to learn something from and then just
Mhm.
improve on that to help us go forward. And you know, a lot of the moments and in my life, like going through this, what helped me is the dreams and beliefs and the why. Is I always tell myself, okay, like, why am I doing this? Because whenever I face that challenge, wherever I face that roadblock, the why behind it, that helps me a lot. I'll tell you that, like, I'm right now in my studio, in my office. So like on my walls everywhere around me, I have vision boards. I have vision board in my bathroom, in my closet, when I wake up on my wall. So the first thing when I open up my eyes, like I do my gratitude journal, and then I write why, like my goals, like why am I doing this? So this way it's very important, because life goes on. We have like so much, we have so much going on in our life, and like all these challenges, problems, negative people that trying to bring us into their misery, but and we gotta fight with all of that. So why is very important. I think that why is, this is what helps us to keep going further.
This is so good. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for sharing that, even just a small piece of what's going on behind the scenes, because we see a woman who's successful and confident and but you've done some work to maintain that. You're taking action. And then you mentioned the vision boards to keep you focused and not get off track with the outside noise. I love that. I'm so thankful that you shared that part too.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you. And you know, I'll tell you, like, even like I mentioned to you, I have daughters 26 and 20. And I'll tell you, like, my 26 years old, she is going like through all these challenges right now, because she's trying to build up her own life, to establish herself, to make something of herself. And she opened up a business. And I look at her and I see like the things that she's doing, and I feel the pain, you know, as a mother. And I wanna, like, in a way, like help her do the things. But then on the other hand, it's me, by doing what I'm doing, that's what inspires her and
mhm.
helps her to build that life. So it's very important, you know, for us to be an inspiration for others.
Oh my gosh. Yep. And
Mm.
it's so, I have a 19-year-old son, and you see them going through some challenges, and you know, and I know that the growth is on the other side of actually
Yeah,
going through a challenge. That's when you grow and that's when you learn. And it's a challenge is powerful, but it's
yeah,
hard as a mom to see them go through it.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, so who is the person that's ideal to reach out to you? Who is it that you love to work with, and who do you love to help? Who's the person listening right now that you know you can help, and why?
Well, I work with business owners, helping them to, those that have the vision, the mission, to build the businesses, to help them achieve their personal, professional, financial goals. So like this is the aspect of where I have my firm, where we're helping them with everything financially. So basically it's taking care of all the things that needs to be done financially. It's the accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, taxes. We also do strategic tax planning. We do CFO services. So, and then as well as the financial coaching. So this aspect is for the business owners. But then also what I actually started doing right now is, since I'm so strong in finances and being woman, I want to give back. So at the same time, I have my women's club right now. We already have a group of women that we're working. So basically it's I have like this group coaching. I'm helping them to realize themselves, to discover themselves, and then build themselves financially.
And that's for the independent woman who's got her own, looking to build her own wealth.
Yes, yes.
Fascinating. Okay. And that would probably be a lot of the audience members here. We definitely have business owners here. So you work with businesses. Um, and then a lot of the audience here are women who are successful, but are looking for more, which is the whole concept of this. We are meant for more, because I feel like women know there's more to them, there's more inside. And I love the work you're doing to help people bring that out.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Um, you mentioned helping people. Where did I put my glasses? Um, hidden um opportunities, or hidden money flow opportunities. What might that look like to somebody? 'Cause who doesn't want to find some hidden money?
Yes, and we all love money. Yes, we all love this money.
Oh, nice. See? Even that has a nice feel to it.
It does. Yes, it does. Well, listen, money is a vehicle. It helps us to get us to where we would like to get. It helps us to enhance our life and to give back to others. And that's what, like in the beginning, it was like all survival. I think for a lot of us, it's to take care of ourselves. And then once we have the family, to take care of the family. So it all becomes part of the survival. But then once you be able to take care of yourself and your family, then the next thing is to start giving to others. And I'm so blessed that now I can actually be on that mission. And this is the mission that I am on, is to inspire others, to empower others, and to share with others, to help them to build that financial freedom so they can take it further and inspire their community as well. Because I believe that's what it's all about, us sharing. And it
Mhm.
it all goes in that circle, in that flow, like we give more and then we get back, so then we can create this ripple effect. So in terms of talking about finding this extra cash flow, so what I actually learned working with business owners for over 26 years is I learned that there's so many opportunities in terms of money. Yes, we're all like going looking for money, right? We want to make more money, we want to get more clients, and then we're spending more money, more time, to make this more money. But what I actually learned is that a lot of the time, all these opportunities, they're right in front of us. We just don't see them.
Mhm.
And I designed the system for the business owners. So where I help them identify these hidden opportunities and how to unlock them.
Mhm. Very exciting. I think that's definitely intriguing. Do you feel like we have a money story? This is actually a two-part question. Do you feel like we have a money story um, that holds us back? And the second part being that it leads to a self-imposed boundary that we won't exceed a certain amount of financial wealth because we've told ourselves a story that I'm middle class and this is what I earn and this is how I live. And do you believe that's what happens to many of us?
Oh, I absolutely love that. Oh my God, we're like so much in sync, Karen. I love that you asked that. So actually, I do believe that. And in fact, I do have that. Um, the Me and you, we spoke about this, the before the podcast that I do have like this free workbook that I had put together. So this free workbook is the blueprint to financial freedom. And the first thing that I talk about it, that's exactly about that, is that number one obstacle that is keeping us from growing. And it all is in our mindset. Like for years, me, even myself, I was thinking that was all external. Okay, it's like, because, I was born poor, because my mom didn't give me the good education, because we didn't have the money, I didn't get the good education, because I came to this country, I didn't know the English. So, like that was for me, but for others, it might be whatever, like different kind of factors. But you see all of these factors, these are all external. But in all the reality, it's all in us. It's all internal. Because in reality, it doesn't matter how we were born, where we were born, if we had money, we didn't have money, you speak English or you don't speak English, or whatever other factors there is, it doesn't matter. Because in reality, like we have the power inside of us. And it's all about, and now this is where it comes about, like dreaming and believing in yourself. Because when we're thinking about all of these things, that means that we're thinking about the past. But when you start dreaming and believing, then you're looking into the future. So it's kind of when you drive the vehicle, you drive looking ahead, further, not behind, not through the rear window. So basically, okay, yes, these facts, they happened. I cannot change that. I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm going to leave this behind. But what I can change is I can change what my future will look like. I can change what my present moment will look like. And then once you just focus on the present, once you focus on that future, and this is when you start building your dream life. Because otherwise, if we're thinking about what I had before, what someone didn't give me, what I didn't do, then we're living in the past versus living in the present or in the future.
Beautiful. So be careful of the story that you're telling over and over again if it's one that doesn't serve you.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And then
that's
create these
wonderful.
stories, because like we have so many stories that we live by. Maybe we'll have like another podcast. I'll tell you all my stories that before I used to live by. But I'll tell you one thing is, listen, yes, I had a lot of demons, as you would say, to uh, fight, because of a lot of it. Obviously, all the stories, they come from our childhood, because they were instilled in us by our parents, grandparents, society. So we all go through all of this. But there's one thing, I guess, it's like, it's just fighting this inner self with all these external factors that coming into our life. But I'll tell you, like, one thing that I always remember as a child, again being a dreamer, is I always, somehow, I don't know, I always had that vision in me, is that, that I'll be rich and I'll make the money. Like, I don't know, somehow it was always in me. I remember, I'll tell you, even like as a woman, I would even tell myself when I was like dating and looking for my future husband, as you would say, I would always tell myself, like, I don't care if the boy I'm dating has money or doesn't have money. I didn't care about that, because I knew deep down inside of me that I will always make money. But what was
Mhm.
important for me is to have the person who loves me, who has good family values. Like, I didn't care about, like, if he has money or doesn't have money. Um, it's just like in me, I always like had that inside feeling of me. So that's why it's very important. It's to believe that yes, you can do it. Yes, you can have. And that's what will help you. That belief will overpower all these external factors.
Oh, so good. So there's all little pieces to it. It isn't just one thing, but it's the
Yes.
way you live and think and believe and the actions you take and how you show up. It's all so powerful. And you mentioned the free gift, and I just wanted to reiterate that that link to that workbook will be in the show notes. And is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience that you feel is important and we haven't covered? And also to tell everybody where they can find you, because I know people are hearing this and will want to work with you because there's just so much power in what you said, that we hold all the answers are within. Um, so where people can find you in addition to anything we haven't touched upon.
Yes, absolutely. So they can find me on all social media channels. I'm everywhere, Ella Rivkin. So that's how it's going to be, Ella Rivkin. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. I have my YouTube channel. So if they would like to learn a little bit more about some other stories, all the that happened in my journey. At the same time, it's all on YouTube, and at the same time on YouTube, I do share a lot of the strategies, financial strategies, tax tips, life tips. So like it's all on the YouTube channel. And lastly, since we were talking about the mindset and the finances, lastly, I think I just want to share like the way that I practice every day, what helps me to keep going, to dream, keep believing, if I
Mhm.
may.
Oh, wow. This sounds perfect. Absolutely.
Okay, so basically, what actually is helping me is I have created like this daily routine for myself. So I do gratitude journal every day. I do it on my phone, like in the notes. Every day, I write like all the things that I'm grateful for. And in the beginning when I started, it would just be like three things. But now I literally like write down all the small things and I go into the details, like even the things, okay, like, like my mom made the food for me, or my daughter yesterday, she picked up the food for lunch. So like, all these kind of small things. A lot of the times, like we're busy, we don't pay attention to that. Like we tend to focus on like something big that is going on in our life. But I noticed like even paying attention to the small kind of details. Like this morning, when I was practicing yoga, my dog, I have two dogs, so he was like playing with me. So like, this kind of small things that it brightens our day. So that's what helps me to get through the day, all the challenges in the day, is focusing on the gratitude. And then especially like those when we have the days when we feel sad or there's something bad is going on, then by refocusing on that gratitude, it helps us like to expand more on that, to build up on that. So that's one of the things that I would like to share. And then another thing is that talking about belief and the finances, is that I meditate every day. So whenever I meditate, so I I like, I dream about the things, and the way I dream is that it's as if they already happened in my life. So basically, it's like I already feel this. I'm already in that moment. And then it helps us to build up on that. It brings up that inner joy inside of me. And here's another beautiful thing, because the way I'm so much into the spirituality, so that's why I'm sharing all of that.
Love it.
Uh, the way it works is that, like, because our body doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real, like the mind doesn't know that. What it knows, it's like it's that inner feeling that we have. So basically, when we feel that moment, even if it didn't happen, but if we feel inside of us all these emotions, and this is how we bring this into our life, and this is how the manifestation, law of attraction happens. So then you take this intention and then you put it into the action, and then that's when all these beautiful things started happening.
Oh, that is so good. So good. To take that one step further, do you actually, when you visualize and from a state of actually experiencing it as if you already have it, do you show up in the world in a state of already having certain things?
Yes, absolutely. I love that you mentioned that. Yes. And that's another thing, is that you live as if it already happened. Because a lot of us, there is this concept of a lot of us, and I used to be like that as well. I had my pivotal moments 10 years ago. But a lot of us, and how I used to live is that, okay, when I make money, I'll be happy. and then I'll be a better mother or I'll be a better wife. When I make money, then I'll give charity. So like we have like all of this conditional, but it's switching this around. Okay, I'm gonna be that person today, right now. So I'm gonna be a better mom, okay, today, and I'm gonna do whatever needs that I need to do, whatever needs to happen to be that better mom. So in the same thing, like it's whatever it is that you envisioning and dreaming in your life. So then you feel that, and then you start acting as that person. And then the next thing is that this is when it starts coming into your life. So it's be that person, do whatever you need to do to become that person, and then have everything that you would want to have.
Mm, I love it. So I hope everybody's hearing this loud and clear.
No,
Oh
and
my,
I'll tell you, like I even like I'll tell you this now that I'm practicing more and more and building up on that. So talking about like the mission and giving back, because that was one of my mission. And when I went through this transformation journey, I was like, okay, like why do I need to wait to make money to be philanthropist to give to someone back? It's like, okay, so basically it becomes all conditional. So when I make money, then I will give, and then I'll become philanthropist. So why I don't become that person right now to be on that mission, to give back, to do whatever it needs to be done. So I am that person. And then the universe is going to provide for me whatever I need to give back to do. So you see, and this is where like this whole change happens.
mm-hmm. Oh, and it's actually fun. That sounds actually
It
fun
is fun,
too.
exactly. It becomes so much fun, and then your life becomes more fulfiller. You feel full, because another challenge I always was facing, and maybe many of you can resonate for being achievers, overachievers. Like I'm overachiever, so I always felt like it's not enough. The feeling of not enough, the feeling of not complete. Because you're constantly searching for something more and more and more. But when you're already becoming that person and you're feeling that you're enough and you're doing everything that you want already your life to look like doing it right now, then it's all enough. And this is where the abundance comes in. You're
Mhm.
already living in abundance. You're not searching for abundance.
So good. So good. So to reiterate, yeah, many of us are waiting to have the thing before we be that person. And you're saying be that person now if you want to have those things. Be it,
Exactly. Yeah.
be it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, exactly. And lastly, I know I'm like sharing so much. Here's
So good. Go.
another thing. Another thing for those who are listening, you can do. That's what helped me too, is like when to change that. Like sit down and do. I really love this exercise. To do it, you can do this at any time any time of the year, at any moment. Is just to sit down. To disengage yourself from the noise and do this exercise, like write down everything that you would like to your life to look like. So basically it's what does your perfect day looks like? What do
Mhm.
you want your perfect day to look like? And then just don't think about, oh, because a lot of the times, and when I speak to my friends, they start, oh, but it's not possible. Oh, I have kids. I have to go to work. I have this, I have that. Forget about all of this stuff. And this is what I did when I was going to my transformation. I wrote down, okay, what does Ella wants to do every day? Forget about what I have to do. What do I want to do? And then once you start writing all these things down, and then you start, okay, let's just start doing one thing. Okay, write down all the things. And then first, let's start with one thing. Like I mentioned to you with the gratitude. Okay, I'm going to start doing gratitude every day. So, and then I'm going to master this. Typically, when you do it for 21 days, this is when you build up the habit. So you do
Mhm.
it like for 20, 30 days until it becomes part of you. Okay, so the next step, I want to start practicing yoga every day. And then I'm going to start doing it every day until it becomes part of me. And then the next thing is the meditation. And then you start building up like more and more. And now imagine if you have like 12 things on your list and you start doing one thing every month, and then the next thing the second month, by the end of the year, you're already doing 12 things that you like during your day. And this is how you start building your life and living your life the way you want, not the way everyone else tells you.
Gosh, so good. So good. So you can see how this is possible. And for the people listening,
It
it's
is all
possible.
possible. It's just don't overwhelm yourself. Don't listen to any. And here's another thing: don't listen to anyone else. Because people
Mhm,
are going to tell you, oh, it's not possible. You have to do this, or you have kids, or you have that. Don't listen. A lot of the times people say that because, they insecurities, they cannot have that. And they just want you to be like them. But
mhm,
no, don't be like them. Be you, do you. And then eventually they'll become like you.
mhm. Oh my gosh, this is powerful work.
Yeah,
Powerful.
it is. Yeah.
So please, people have to reach out to you because who doesn't want to learn more about this and start living life in that way? It's like living in ease and flow and allowing things to come to you.
Exactly, absolutely. I'll tell you, like this year I went, like, one of my other dreams is that I love to travel. I'm
Mhm,
a traveler, and my goal is to travel all the countries, 195 countries. So I've been to 70 already. So this year actually I went to 20 countries. I've been traveling. Well, I traveled in the beginning of the year for like a month, and then during the summer for 2 months. And I remember everyone was like, "Oh, how can you do this? You have a business, you have kids, you have a husband, this and that." I was like, "Okay, I'm just doing that." I literally just booked the ticket. I didn't even know where I'm gonna go. I said I'm gonna take action. I just got the ticket, and then I just went there, and as I just went with the flow, as you mentioned, and
mhm.
that's it. You design your life the way you wanna live. Don't listen to anyone else. This is your life, and live it to the fullest.
Beautiful. And you're a perfect example of this. You could have lived in victim mode. You came over here as an immigrant at the age of 14, and you could have kept telling some sort of a victim story all your life, and you didn't. So this is what's possible.
Yeah, yeah.
Gosh, thank you so much for being here. Do you have
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. This was amazing. Thank you. I love that.
yeah, so fun. Do you have any parting words for the audience?
I mean, it's just leave it to the fullest. Everything is possible. You can have absolutely everything in your life. And remember, it's all in your hands. And just be ready to receive.
Beautiful. Be ready to receive too. That's
Yes.
important. Wonderful. I love your motto. Everything's in your hands. Okay, well, thank you again for being here. Such a great, great episode.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful. And to the audience, thank you for being here for another episode of We Are Meant for More. And please share this episode with anyone you feel could benefit, which is pretty much anybody. Anybody could benefit from this information you're sharing. And reach out to Ella. All right. Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. It was